are you today, sir? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll talk with you now. You're now early.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do apologise about that. It gets very late with us. You can't talk at the moment?
No, I can talk. Yeah, what's going on?
Right, yeah, just wanted to just talk to you about a few things that go on in the California state about boxing and other combat sports, if that's all right, sir.
Yeah.
No problem. Well, obviously, boxing's coming that big in the UK at the moment, and we're starting to recognise the change with the California State Commission, and I know since you've taken over, it was like November in 2012?
That's right.
Yeah, things seem to be going the right way for California. Basically, is it saying that you guys actively try and seek out the big fights as a commission, try and do the business with Golden Boy? Because we are realising you are doing a lot of business with Golden Boy at the moment, commissioning a lot of fights for them, big fights.
We do try to seek out business. We do.
Right, yeah, see?
I mean, now, we don't go out there and, like, what we try to do is we try to, we certainly do our stakeholder outreach, but what we do is there's not one thing that I or anybody else can do to get a business to promote in their state. You're probably very aware of that. That's what we can do.
Yeah.
However, what we can do is create a regulatory environment that's consistent and fair. People know when they come to California, they're going to get a fair shake and they're going to get treated fairly.
Right.
And that's what this commission can offer. We offer superior drug testing. We offer superior officials. We offer all these things, and our office staff, is responsive to stakeholders. We try to get back with people, and I think that's kind of environment that we want to create.
Yeah, see, so we have, personally myself, on my own feeling of it, I think it's only about time before, what we have noticed, some great fight cards, some stacked fight cards have been happening over the last couple of years, and, I just think California, I know Nevada get a lot of the attention and stuff like that, but, California is such a big state, some huge venues, a lot of money there. I personally believe that with all the rule changing, you were one of the guys championing getting rid of TRT as well, weren't you? Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. See, like, I think some of the biggest fights should start coming back to California. The UFC working closely with Nevada, helps them as well. Is that something that's, can you see your sort of relationships building with some of the promoters and maybe some big fights happening soon?
Well, I feel like we've gotten good relationships. Like, for example, K2 Promotions has not promoted in California in over 5 years.
Yeah.
But, me and the commissioner sat down with Tom Lawford, the promoter, or the manager of K2, the promoter, and we had multiple conferences with him, multiple talks, and he's bringing Gennady Golovkin versus Rubio to the StubHub Center here in California on October 18th. Well, that's a great fight for California to get, Again, we've got Bellator, headed by Scott Copeland. It's a California-based company, and certainly Bellator is doing a lot of big things. I think you'll be hearing more about Bellator in the future. The UFC just ran here in Sacramento, California this past weekend. The UFC certainly active here. We've got the Bella Entertainment just got relicensed here. They're coming back, doing a showbox show on October the 10th. We've got Antonio Leonard, and he's going to be he's on the schedule for the next agenda meeting, getting licensed along with Rock Nation. So we've got a lot of things in the pipeline that's happening in California, and we certainly like to see the promoters come in to visit with us.
Well, yeah, because what I've seen is as well, since 2009, UFC have been there 13 times, I think, around that number. And then you would have had the Aldo Mendez rematch as well. It got cancelled, didn't it? It was meant to be in the States.
That's right. It got canceled, but that was scheduled at the Staples Center down in L.A.
Yeah, that would have been a huge pay-per-view card. That one would have been as well. You know, also, do you think, like, your personal touch with, you've got a bit of background, haven't you, in combat sports yourself?
That's right. I was an amateur boxer and a professional mixed martial arts athlete, and then I competed in amateur kickboxing and amateur grappling, and I was a promoter of these sports, and I was the head referee of the Georgia Commission in mixed martial arts for a long time. Judged MMA. I've done pretty much everything you can do in this sport. Managed fight. I've done it all, really. I mean, I'm sure there's something I hadn't done, but I've done a lot of things in it. You know?
Yeah, I can talk for quite a few people over here in Britain as well. We can really see California really emerging as well, considering the state it was meant to have been in when you took over as well. You know, so do you think a lot of that's to do with like the personal understanding of the environments that go into the fighting? You know, helps negotiate with promoters, helps regulate rules and stuff like that. Do you think that helps?
I think so. I mean, I do. I think so. Especially because I was a fighter and a promoter both, so I'm seeing kind of both viewpoints, you know, and then as a regulator, I have the public interest in mind. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot. I have a unique perspective, I think, on the industry, just because I've done many things in it. But you know, I think we have to remember, and I always keep this in my mind. I've been around, seen it, and it's you know, it's came a long way. I'm talking about especially mixed martial arts. I mean, think where we were in '96. You know, versus now, and we've watched this happen. I mean, I've been a part of this happen. So it's definitely changed a lot to the better, I think.
No, of course, yes. One of the things with TRT as well, though, you know, that how did that all come about? Can you remember that? How did states like yourself? Because I know when TRT come about, I think the first situation I ever heard of was the guy, what's his name? The guy who went to Strikeforce back at the UFC now. He got a failed drug test. He was. And then TRT he got a doctor's note, and this TRT come back. How comes the commissioners like yourself in Nevada didn't jump all over that and ban it straight away?
Well, I mean, I can't speak to why they didn't back then, but what I can say is that you gotta put yourself in the perspective, because we know more now than we knew then, okay? And so, like, I think it would be a fair statement to say that we just weren't as educated, and you have a doctor authorizing a patient to take something for his health.
Right, yeah.
And we, as non-physicians,
obligated to take that advice, really.
Right, and until our doctors, I'm talking about the commission doctors, started looking at this issue more in depth, which it takes time for these things to happen. I think at that time we just relied on the patient's the doctor that was treating the patient, and I'm not saying that was the right answer. I'm just saying at the time I believe that's what happened, and we're certainly more educated now to keep these things from happening in the future.
Yeah, I think that's a right move. I know you're one of the big players along with Nevada in cancer and that, so we've got to give you credit for that. But one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to you today was a couple of some of the unhidden rules of boxing, that not even the media and all that truly understand. There's obviously been a lot between Pacquiao and Mayweather, and a lot of these boxers now asking for drug tests and stuff like that. There's been some false accusations being filed around, like certain fighters have failed drug tests and stuff like that. If a fighter, say, any fighter, in fact. Well, just we talk boxing because it's not. I wouldn't say as unregulated as MMA, but because UFC sort of controls MMA, they sort of put everything out there. But if a boxer fails a drug test and they give a valid reason, say like they took it because of flu or something like that, would the state publicise it? Or is there circumstances where they can hide stuff like this? Well, not hide it, but just keep it quiet.
No, anybody that fails a drug test in California, that's a public document if a media outlet wants it. And rest assured, they ask every time.
Right.
And the fact is, and I will submit this to you so you'll understand, I have been testing lots and lots of people, both in competition and out of competition. And the fact is, we're catching people, but the fact is, the people, and we use a World Anti-Doping Agency laboratory, by the way, UCLA Analytical Lab. So it's not like we're not testing for stuff. We're testing for things in California. And the fact is that the problem, or the evidence does not support the hypothesis that this sport is as dirty as people say it is. So certainly there's dopers, and we catch them. There's no doubt we catch them. Okay, we catch them, and we punish them. But is there 50% of every athlete on some kind of performance enhancer? Absolutely not. That's just not the case. It's not the case. It's not the evidence. And the people that support that kind of are trying to bring that kind of story out there, or trying to make people believe that that's a fairy tale. Right. It's not true. Well, I've got loads of documentation where we've tested. And I mean, if you get one fighter out of every 24 people that you test, is that really a lot of people that, I mean, is that half? Half will be 12. No, I mean, you get one out of every 24. That's not, I mean, certainly that's problematic, and we hope that number goes down to maybe 1 in 100 or 1 in 200. But the fact is that the sport is not as dirty as people claim it is.
No, and quite a lot of them tests actually come positive for things like diuretics and stuff like that, to try and to lose weight and stuff for the weight cut. Is that not correct as well?
We test for diuretics as well.
Right, cool. Also, just one other.
I'm just gonna go to leave that there, and we'll go to the Brook Point and some other drug testing issues after in part 2.